Susanna here from the Good Property Company. I'm in Barcelona. I'm seeing the first house that Gaudi ever designed, here visiting my son who's moved to Barcelona. So, you want to pay your mortgage off. Good for you. And there's a whole different ways that you can get this done. Here's one of my suggestions. I'll probably do a whole series on this because there's so many different ways that you can make this happen. So, let's just say it doesn't really matter the value of the house, but let's say you bought a house, great, and your decision is, I'm going to pay this mortgage off, I'm not going to be in the rat race of paying my mortgage forever. What am I going to do about it? How quickly can I do it? And what are the different strategies? Let's take a buy-to-sell strategy. So your maths on a buy-to-sell strategy, you should really only do a buy-to-sell, which is buying it, renovating it, if you need to. If you don't need to, then don't. You know, but and you want to be buying it, so you lock your profit when you buy it. Really, you're buying it discounted, and then you need to take all the costs. So if you've got any funding like bridging or mortgages or private loans on it, and then selling it, the rule is you do a 20% markup. So in simple maths, that's if the whole thing costs 100 grand, then you need to be sure you can sell it for 120. That's after all costs, you know, council tax, water rates, everything. You need to be sure you can sell it for 120 before you do the project. So whatever size of house you have, let's just keep our maths super simple. Let's say you've got a 100 grand house, which these days is probably, you know, less than likely. So 20% markup on, and you decide to do some buy to sell to pay your own mortgage off. You need 5 houses that you're going to buy and sell to make 20% per house to sell your own house, to pay your own house off. That's in its most simplistic form, and let's stay simplistic at this stage. So I'm going to say buy and sell 5 houses. Now let's look at that in more detail. Number one is, and we did over 200 deals, sourced for an agreed price of 30 million quid, that we had a value of 45 million quid. So we're fairly experienced, and we did a lot of buy to sell. We looked at the stats in our buy to sell, and it's the Pareto Rule, if you guys know it. Pareto Rule being 20% delivers 80% of the value, and it's kind of the 20%, 80% dividing rule. And we were exactly the same. I mean, it was astonishingly scientific. So what we found is, with our buy to sells, 80% sold for more, and in fact, in total, our buy to sells sold for about £402,000 extra to what we planned. The first 42 that we did of them. So theoretically, smoothed over the whole lot, each of the houses sold for 9.5 grand more, but 80% sold for more, 20% sold for less. So my first thing of, great, just buy and sell 5 houses at the same value as your own house. You'll make 20% markup. 5 times 20% is 100%. Use that to pay your house off. You need some alterations there. What this is the guys are selling gas. I don't know if you could see them coming up just there, and they bang the gas canisters to let people know that they're there. So who'll be coming past, you'll be a bit noisy. So first off, you need to figure out that 1 in 5 projects won't work so well. So now do 1 in 6, knowing that 1 of your 5 early projects isn't going to work out. So now you're buying and selling 1 in 6. Okay, and then secondly, you're going to have some capital gains tax. There's no getting away from it. Obviously take advice, but you're probably going to do stuff in your personal name because you get your initial personal capital gains tax allowance, and then after that you might do stuff in your limited company, but you're going to have to pay some tax. So let's just assume you do 2 projects just to pay the tax bill. So we were 5 to make 20% each, 1 extra because 1 in 5 won't work out well for you. So that's 6, and then probably about 2 at the same cost as your personal house to pay for the tax bill and all other bills, so that you're feeling very comfortable that you've got everything covered. Now we're up to 8 projects. How difficult is that? Well, on average, a property to buy and sell will take about 6 months. So if you want to do 1 at a time, you can pay your mortgage off with all taxation paid within 4 years. It's not bad, is it? But what if you want to go faster? Well, why don't you do 2 at a time? You could do 8 projects, 2 at a time, so 2 on January the 1st, 2 on June the 1st, 2 on January 1st, 2 on June the 1st, and pay your house off, plus all the taxation, in just 2 years. I mean, that's extraordinary, isn't it? That's absolutely extraordinary. Of course, you don't need all the money, do you? You could actually use bridging, and you could actually use private finance as well, so you don't even need to use all the money yourself. And it's not that difficult. In fact, in many ways, it's easier to do a larger number of buy-to-sells at any one time. At one point, we did 30 buy-to-sells, which was, I have to tell you, a little bit stressful. But what it means is you've got continuity for your team, you've got efficiency for buying materials, because you're just going to buy everything wholesale in much greater quantities. See, Barcelona? And then you've got, what you'll do is you'll have a cookie cutter model as we did, and go onto our website and have a look at how we post things up. The photos look beautiful. So it means that you actually have very limited decision making, because you're just going to cookie cutter your buy-to-sells. So how about doing paying your mortgage off within 2 years by doing 8 projects, 2 at a time, starting every 6 months? It's not a bad idea, is it? It certainly beats the rat race of working 25 plus years to pay a mortgage off. We end up paying 2 or 3 times the value to the banks. I'm going to do more. Oh, there he is. Look, I'm going to do more series on I think he's doing that just for our video. It's trading Barcelona style. I'm going to do more different suggestions for you guys on different ways to pay your mortgage off through property. See you soon. Bye.